Time to learn how to fly the big blue brick. Or work around it. One or the other. Alright. This is an in-progress save. Fanciest ship I have? The Astral. And a bunch of Kopesh bombers. And a single flash. And can't forget the catapults. But I kinda started this save with the assumption of I want to learn how to fly a carrier. What better one? The slowest one. Whopping 48 top speed. And that's with helmsmanship. The rest of the fleet, not quite up to standard right now. Second biggest ship is also a carrier, and the next one after that is a destroyer. Definitely need the rest of the fleet to go with it. That being said, most of what I've been doing so far is smuggling, so I got a bunch of money. Faction reputation is better than it usually is, notably the pirates. They actually don't hate me, so far. Things are a little dicey with the Persians, though. But I'll fix that in time. Last time I was playing this save, went and looted a bunch of stuff. I think I'm gonna sell off the blueprints to the black market, so the pirates are gonna have it. But that's fine. The pirates don't hate me. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, got some money, got a little bit of reputation. Now I just need a fleet. One more thing I should show off. The skills I picked. More combat readiness. Better fighters and carriers. More officer skills. Damage bonus from elite skills. Although I realized a little late that this only only has any effect if I have elite skills. Which currently I only have one. There will be more though. Planning on putting the next 4 levels all into the combat skills. I didn't grab gunnery implants though, just cause I figured it wouldn't be important for a carrier. So I might switch out cybernetic augmentation, maybe. Never really fricked around with the automated ships. Also, I turned up the volume just earlier because it seemed to be kinda low on the menu, but I'm looking at the soundbar on OBS, that is. It seems kinda high. Oh no. A space river. Strange underrail I have here. Did I not set the category correctly? It's telling me I have it right. Yeah. Although, if that's what you wanted, don't worry. I'll do that for next stream. I promise. It's after the last stream where I figured out the music puzzle, I kinda wanted a little bit of a break. And then I got carried away, and 17 hours later there's this save. Starting to think maybe I should have just streamed the whole thing from the start rather than just from this point. But too late for that. Guy in the shadowy booth wants a spy satellite over there. No thanks. Alright. All the extra stuff I have. This spot to sell the ore is Captain Starworks. Just about everything else says Nova Maxios. Playing KCD2 for the first time. Masterpiece. Already 90 hours in, the end is nowhere in sight. Yep, that sounds like some good video game right there. So I am going to Nova Maxio, so maybe sell some of the supplies. About 1,000. Cantastan's gonna pay way more. Maxed out on crew. Sell the survey data and the blueprints. Another fat stack of cash. Yeah, I've gotta get better ships. 'Cause I've got a bunch of these officers, most of them just basically all from the same system when I was scavenging around it. Funny enough, I think it was the same system I found my astral ship, because I did scavenge it. But now I just need to get him some actual good ships to fly. Only thing I can think of for quickly getting those without getting a commission or anything is getting some dude selling surplus military production at the bars. Which I forget who's most likely to sell that. I know that the Persians sell that, the Tritax sell that, I think Hegemony too, but not super big on low-tech blueprints. Not that they're bad, it's just, I don't know, something about armor tanking that I just can't figure out. Got enough money. Sell stuff on the open market instead, get a little bit of rep. Might have to go swing by Syndria. Go to Volturn specifically. Funny thing, that game runs very good on 1080 and its CryEngine. The other hand, it consumes RAM, as many as you can provide. Yeah. From what I remember about CryEngine is, it actually runs pretty good for the graphical fidelity you get, but no one wants to work with the engine because, well, it's an entirely new engine. Especially at this point where everyone's just going all aboard the Unreal Engine 5 train. Oh yeah, there is one thing. Not part of a faction. So, my monthly income is not very good. Buy illegal weapons. The best kind of weapons. Up to $1 million, 200% cost. Ooh, some good blueprints. Let's look from a size class. Capitals. Don't want anything else that has a fighter base in it. So Legion's out. Onslaught is a typically good choice. Typically. Odyssey's kinda weird and it's got 2 fighter bays. Conquest is theoretically good, but I always feel like the AI doesn't really know what to do with the maneuvering jets and end up wasting it. And everything else is weird paffer shit, or pirate. I already have an Atlas. So what else? Auroras aren't terrible. Eagles are pretty decent, but 14th battle group versions have less top speed. Could go with the Anubis again. Yeah, but it also has the fighter bay issue. Wouldn't mind a couple of Revenants. Now that I'm thinking about it, what would work best to escort Big Dumb Astral? Griffins, maybe? Champion? Not a fan of the Apogee. It's got utility, but in the harder fights it's well, it's a ship that entirely relies on shields, and the shield is just not quite good enough. On the other hand, it does have the large missile slot. isn't terrible, but I also feel like it's not quite good enough. Go with one champion and a griffin. Maybe also an eagle, but let me look at the weapons. That one's got a large missile. 2 medium missiles. Could just set it up with a bunch of, shoot, what are they called again? The pilums. That's what they are. Set it up with a whole bunch of those, then just have it follow around the astral. Just spam missiles at a safe range. I think the champion could give it a paladin. I think last time I used one of these I was with expanded magazines. Had a paladin, a couple of thumpers. I forget what else. I could have it focused on missiles instead, but then the system's not terribly useful. But it doesn't have to be. So if I give this guy a squall with some missile racks and maybe some ECMs, compare it with maybe some annihilators. Gazer's the anti-shield. Organ is the general damage. A little bit more range on the Gorgon. Big one of those. Alright, anything else? Got enough daggers. Yeah, that's probably fine. Alright, come back in 60 days. Pick up all that good stuff. Oh, new message. Had a lot of fun with a champion with high intensity laser, graviton beams, and a lot of long range PD lasers, and an S mod for the gyros. It does sound like a good setup. I think I remember having something similar once, where it was Paladin laser system. It had the integrated point defense AI, this one. Then a bunch of tag lasers on it. Speaking of, I think that's what I wanted to do with this. I just kind of forgot to do it. Alright. You know what? I'm gonna give this thing a test run. Should be able to handle this pretty easy. See how quick it can do it though. Shooting them up pretty good. And there we go. Now, a second simulation that's not going to go nearly as well. In other words, something that actually has point defense. Not quite so easy. Can vent faster than he can. But my fighters aren't gonna be up yet. Strip the armor off the very front of him. But again, fighter wave is not up to the task. forces, if I can 1v1 an onslaught to a stalemate, and I should do pretty good when it's part of a fleet fight. Good. But anyway. I've got those 2 ships on the way. Make my contact. One over at Nordia, one at Captain Starworks, and the last one was Quaraz. So, not here. Just gonna float around, look for some more dudes selling production slots. Oh hey there, Platinum Wolf. Great content, very amazed. How you doing, dude? Little shit happening over there. None of my business. Game seems hella complicated. Yeah, it's kinda like Bannerlord. You know, vaguely. It's a bit more complicated in some ways and it's a bit more simple in some others. Like, for one, you're not a dude on a horseback while doing a fight. You're just a dude in a spaceship and you have the option of putting your spaceship on autopilot. So, if you don't like the combat part, you can basically skip it. But the rest of it, like making sure you don't run out of supplies and starve to death in the middle of outer space, that one is still 1-to-1. And also dying to taking on way too many barbarians at the same time. That also happens. 150 credits worth, 140% base cost. But it's only my blueprints. Yeah, right with you on that one. Being the guy sitting at the top of the ladder with a polearm and just repeatedly slamming everyone who shows up is very satisfying. Ask about becoming a supplier of heavy armaments. Yeah, don't have that one, Chief. Surplus volatiles. Over at Quaraz. Yeah, I have to go over there anyways. Sell the ore. Ooh, they've got a sale on heavy armaments. Sell those at full turn. Don't really have to buy more heavy machinery, but might as well. Anything at the bar? Talk to the disappointed man. He looks up with a flicker of hope as you approach. You're a starship captain, right? Taps at a tripod. Need 400 units of fuel delivered to Connie. 2 light years away. Be paid above market rates. 89 credits per unit for 35,600 credits total on delivery. The Commodities Agents, Dave McMillan. Yeah, sure. Then the smuggler. Approach a private booth, doing your best to look both important and well-connected. It seems to work. The man looks up from his tripod and motions for you to join him. Captain Max Friday, please, sit. Gives you a small smile at catching you off guard, and pours a tiny glass of something decadent from the bottle. I've heard so much about your accomplishments. It's all very enterprising. Bravo. He raises the tiny glass to opportunity, sips, then places the glass down beside his tripod. I have a proposal for you, an opportunity. What kind of opportunity? Steady supply of 5 organics. Yeah, no, I'm no planet admin. Have to ask someone else for that. Any ships for sale? Not good ones. Alright. Go fulfill that contract. A Colossus class heavy freighter. Don't mind if I do. Grease maintenance, compromised storage. Not worth grabbing. Alright. Deliver the fuel. Pirates like me a little bit more. Cybermod Jack. It's just someone selling codes. Excessive war and people. Probably should have uploaded some people while I was over at Kanta's. Actually, swear the stuff is gonna show up. As for the ore, Syndria and Nordia want some. Profit margins are non-existent, however. Yeah, never mind that. Lot of people fighting out in space. Sure, it has nothing to do with me selling free blueprints to the pirates. Well, not free, but very reasonable prices. Wants me to go and deliver 19 units of heavy armament. Not for that pay. Well, looks like in the time it took me to get here, they solved the supply issue. I forgot all my drugs at home. Fill up on organics. Bring those to Kantas. Just have to run very fast so that I don't get intercepted by patrol. Go to the other exit. I am getting a call. Go away. Alright, let me just, yeah, okay, there we go. And back to it. Should probably turn down my ringtone. It's picking up on the mic. Okay. Little bit of a shove. Nothing happened at that bar. Paying top price for Marines. Not really using them, so get rid of all of them. Oh, I forgot to buy more fuel. Also, they do not have the usual surplus of drugs that they usually do. Unfortunate. Should go offload this heavy machinery. Best price is Mayrov, over in the Mayasura system. Looks like that's where I'm going. Don't have a surplus of anything. "5 days until the ships are ready." It's only 2 ships though. Still need another 6. I think I'm gonna keep the Drover class. I'm gonna get rid of the Heron. A lot of this light stuff. Probably gonna get rid of that too. Might keep the hammerheads though. There's a lot more small skirmishes happening than there used to be. None of my business though. I've got a positive rep with everyone except the space terrorist. Give me enough time and I'll flip that too. Approach the man smoking in the dark corner. The man looks you over as you approach. After a moment, he seems satisfied. Slides a cheap data pad across the table. Displays a personnel file and the schematics of a secure facility. In a quiet voice he explains, I need an extract of the subject from, unjust confinement on Quaros, 5 light years away. My benefactor offers a payment of 60,000 credits to secure the subject's liberation. Man awaits your reply. Eyes visible only as 2 constellations of reflected light. You skim the schematics. They're thorough. You estimate that around 200 Marines would be required to carry out this operation. Assaulting a pirate prison could also have an impact on your reputation. Measures can be taken to reduce identifiability, but they can't completely avert official suspicion. I think I've got some story points to spare, and I have to go over there anyways. Alright, this one's gonna be an official sale. Gotta get that rep up. We're also very short on supplies, but I need those. Check out the local pirate base for some deals. Tough-looking man wearing a powered armor exosuit, or undersuit. You approach, maintaining your cool despite the withering stare. The man laughs at your composure and welcomes you to sit with a gust of eye-watering liquor fumes. I like you, he exclaims to the entire bar, which ignores the shout. You're not a scared little dirt worm. Your new best friend is full of boast and brags, and you're surprised to discover that he's sharper than he looks, as he slips pointed questions about your background and capabilities into his braggadocio, adopting a lower voice, but keeping his eyes scanning the room, he says, "A level, Captain. You can handle your flux. I respect that. I'm wondering if you want to get in on a job with me." He smiles, showing off a full set of titanium teeth. Wanna know more? Do go on. It's a Colossus Mark II D-Class modified freighter collecting space dust in the slightly guarded orbital hangar. And I've heard enough. Goodbye. No surplus here. Oh, so much for that one. Now that I'm thinking about it, what is the best place to buy this? Over at Yoku Press. Tritax got pretty good patrols too. Got 23 days to get to Quaras. It's one little detour. See what he wants. Wants me to take down the spaceport all the way over there. Or not terribly much. And I'm good. Pretty cheap. But I know a way to make it cheaper. But I still need the amount. Successfully evaded the patrols. Looks like they're having puffer problems. None of my business. "12 days to get to Quaras." Production's complete. Alright. I am here to buy the stuff. Gimme. Big surplus of organics still. Have a talk to the patron who ordered the prisoner. Actually, let me read the first part. The space is dark and filled with shouts, sweat, and pulsing music. Every wall and surface is pitted and stained by rough spacers banging their mugs and laughing as a couple of pirate crews posture for a fight. You can only assume that one of the heavily augmented bouncers will spoil the fun before weapons are drawn. Gangers and pirates watch the scene smugly from smoke-filled booths at the back. The patron loudly orders something called. Let me try that again. The patron loudly orders something called the prisoner and beams a smile at you. Have a talk to that guy. You approach the smiling patron, who turns and keeps their eyes firmly locked on a menu display on the wall, while a somewhat fanciful concoction appears at the bar. There are so many options, Max Friday, they say deliberately. Not everyone wants the same thing. Some disagree quite strongly, but are too polite to say so out loud. Eyes flicker to the door, then to a hollow display of some news item about the leading political cadre of Quaras. Perhaps you'd like what I'm having. They take a long sip. Comes at quite a price, because there are others who want it very, very much as well. 30,000 credits. Up. Pay the price. You hail the bartender, point, and order one of those. The patron's smile returns. How embarrassing for our friends up there. A nod to the holo display. You exchange crypto keys to facilitate secure comms, and coordinate a pickup point. The timeline is short. Deliveries promised before the next work shift begins, and you're almost as surprised as the prisoner looks as they are shoved out of a shadowy maintenance hatch towards you, hands still tied. The patron leans through and gives you a nod before resealing the hatch. You move quickly to leave before the civic observation net flags your identities. That's how you get a prisoner without any Marines. Let's see what the flashily dressed man wants. You look like you know your way through a jump point, he says, lowering his voice once more. Know the location of a claw wing blueprint. 22K. Don't need it. Alright. Kanta still wants to buy a whole bunch of organics. Gardner's got a much better price. No one's really buying people. Alright. Syndria first, because I really need the fuel. Then Garner. Maybe stop by at my contact on Nordia while I'm at it. Solar flare. So what the concerned man wants. Got 1,880 units of fuel that urgently need to be delivered to Eventide in the Samara star system. Kinda throws off some of my plans, but it's money. I got 100% bonus XP from the story point. We take it. Alright, now we fill up the rest of it. Is what I would say if there was not a fuel shortage. Despite the shortage, it's still one of the cheapest places to buy. You know, unless if you exclude the 30% tariff, then there's a lot of places that it's better to buy. That was a little bit too much. Have some machinery. Alright, wanted to go see my contact. have any other missions. Special pirate fleet bounty and fuel procurement. Needs 4,000 units. Paying a very good price for it though. Don't have the capacity for the fuel. What if I did? Wrong button. Just gonna ignore the more maintenance rather than fixing it. Get more out of the militarized subsystems than I do out of the efficiency module. Go figure. I'll take the mission. Bring the fuel over to Eventide, deliver that part, go buy some at, I'm guessing, Nashiketa usually has pretty good price. Looks like Sindria solved their fuel issue. Supposedly. See what the hard drinking spacer has. Terrible freighter. No thanks. What do you got? Terrible freighter. No thanks. The other place that really wants to buy some drugs is Epiphany. That place kinda sucks. Yeah, just get rid of all of it. It's also a Chalcedon. They also want heavy armament. Might have to go there next. probably stop accepting new smuggling missions because I just kind of end up autopiloting into grab anything that's going somewhere that you're already going, and then go to that place and grab some more. Complete the existing contracts, go do something new. Very high importance trade contact. I already have one of those. Yeah, I do. Low on drugs. High on fuel. Pretty damn good price, too. Might as well get all of it. Need 4,000 units. Not quite at that point. Could go grab some at Sphinx, could go grab some at Syndria. Go to Syndria. Low on luxury goods. No good place to go buy those, however. Never mind the trading and smuggling. Got the fuel. No new missions. Tired of carrying around this heavy machinery everywhere. And it's gone. Go back up on fuel. Go pick up my new ships. Find some middle of nowhere area in space to go fly to do a testing run. So great. Kanta's den, I'm pretty sure. Alright, give me the stuff. Starting with the Revenants. Just... Alright. Got surveying equipment and efficiency overhauls. Which is probably overkill on the amount of surveying equipment, but whatever. I should pick up the weapons first. Alright. Right. Hybrid does not let you use missiles. So maybe Pylum instead? Could get a couple of velocity drivers. Does have the synergy because of the high energy focus. If I grab energy weapons instead, they get that bonus. Not sure what I'd want to put there. Stick those on. It's gonna be more of a support ship in this configuration. Although, if I want the Paladin on there, maybe Thumpers instead. They're not selling any right now. I surprisingly don't have any on me. There's also the auto pulse laser. Fuck it. We're doing it again. Once I find some thumpers, I'll stick those on there. The only other magazine weapons I have right now is ion pulsers, heavy burst laser, and that's about it. Could have sworn I had more than one, but the number says otherwise. Alright, now the best person to drive this is maybe this guy. Who else I have? Energy weapon mastery with the elites would be pretty decent, considering pretty much everything is energy weapon. Yeah, you get the position. Alright, that's one setup. We'll have to come back and revise it. And this one. Definitely gonna want to test this one. Right. Expanded missile racks. And the electronic countermeasure. If I can fit all of that. Yeah. Build this one in. And who's the lucky person piloting this one? Well, only see one of them with missile specialization, so you're up for the job. Would be a bit better if it was elite, but that'll have to wait for now. Alright, and you are getting promoted. Also, I really should get rid of this ship. It kinda sucks. And it's a lot of supplies per month considering how much it sucks. Say hello to your new ship. So I thought I changed you over. No wait. You were on the vigilance beforehand. Don't worry, I'm not sending you back. I don't want to get rid of all the small shitty ones just yet. Picked up everything that was mine. Only other thing I have to do is bring back the prisoner. Which technically I could wait for, but might as well do it now. Now I've got options for what I want to do next. Could look for more people willing to sell me production slots so I can get some more good ships. Or I could just fly out into the unknown. Go and find some ships. And I also have the option if I want to do exploration missions or bounty missions or whatever. After a short wait, your connection request is accepted. Your tripod chimes, notifying you that your chief security officer has handed off the prisoner, now free. Perhaps. Guy wants 100 supplies. Yeah, sure. Might have to go over to the Aslan star system. Get like 2,000 supplies, max out the fuel. A really good spot to offload these heavy armaments, but they're not taking up that much room. Let's see, any bounties? Not anything crazy. I think I could take on this fleet pretty easily. It's around the 200,000 range where it starts to be shit that I can't really handle right now. or survey missions. Could go to the location of some extensive ruins I found right over here. It's not terribly far away. I'll pick up the fuel and see if any bounties pop up. Hold on to the volatiles. Couple of things I need it for. No new bounties I want to pursue. Off to explore. I think I can handle those. Just in case. A lot of blues. And they want to fight. Yeah, alright. Send in the new stuff. Send in all the officers. They need training. It's probably massively overkill, but let's see. Actually, that's a brilliant class. 2 of them. I think they should have it. And if not... Yeah, I think that hammerhead's fucked. Come on, get in there. Got a perfectly good autopulse laser. Use it. Well. Surprisingly not dead. hammerheads are not doing well. Maybe I should retire him. Just the one left. Well, not entirely pleased with the performance on the Griffin, but the champion's doing what it's supposed to do. Hey, couple of alpha cores. We take those. Lot of active ones. Debris. Location of a minor weapons cache. Orbiting a gas giant in the Rama star system. Wherever that is. Orbital hab. Free drugs. Pirate blueprints. Last for planet. He doesn't want to deal with me. Some more debris. Try to get it. Wasn't worth being in the Corona. So that gate is really close. Damaged remnant nexus. Right over there. Yeah, I could probably take it. Probably. It's a whole lot of food. Too bad I'm gonna be dumping it out. Alright. Bring in the big guns. sounded a little overkill on this one. There he goes. Already full on fuel. First level of hyperspace topography, which means the slipstreams are actually pretty good now. Bunch of derelicts, or derelicts. Free guns. Alright, I think that's everything here. Next planet. Star system. Not much here. Cargo manifest found by the salvage crews sent to the supply cache indicates the presence of a quantity of Volturnian lobster. There was indeed lobster. Bunch of stuff over here. Mostly floating scrap. Some more topography data. And the blue giant. Mining station. Gotta be getting some good stuff in here. Definitely not just rocks. Increased presence of a quantity of ore. Indeed. Some high-tech blueprints though. There's a thingamading out there. A Legion 14 class battlecruiser or battle carrier. It's got a life pod. What's in the life pod? Commander Hector Mimis, level 5. This thing's all jacked up anyways. Not a terrible spread of skill. But already at max. You're dismissed. The cargo's getting pretty filled up. Still not even at that planet I originally wanted to go to that had the extensive ruins. The Lasher. Something in the asteroid belt. What could it be? Mudskipper. It's got Commander Themis Randall in it. Again, not a terrible skill set, but I don't change you. Another one. Lieutenant Alec Dubois. He'd be good on a heavy ship. Like, heavy armor ship. But I don't have any of those. Mining station. Quantity of transplutonic ore. The good stuff. And a fullerene spool. Alright. It's one cluster or constellation. Sell what I found. And come back and do it again. So, delivery done out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I can do that. Plenty of time to do it. Looking like I'll want to go sell all of this stuff over at Nova Maxios. Although the pirates can have some blueprints as a treat. I'm gonna go check out the TriTac base, see if they're selling production slots. Investment credits. Pass on that. Not selling much of value. It's too quick to press the buttons. Yeah, let's buy some mercenaries. Okay, dump all of this stuff. Know I could get better prices at other places, but then I'd have to go to those other places. Alright. Wants me to go right over there. So might as well do that one first. have the reverse polarity fit yet. Just gonna have to ford the river the old-fashioned way. There's the spot. Really? No one here to stop me from doing it. Usually that always happens. Your nav officer reports that your fleet has arrived at the coordinates provided by Varda Kirby. The hard copy book, made of paper, is held gently in a cargo drone's manipulator arms, ready for deployment. The go button flashes softly on your command interface. Drop it off. The bay doors open, and the cargo drone extends its arms. Then, gently, its manipulators release. It is now done, whatever it is. You ever hate a book so much that you want it floating around a blue giant out in the middle of absolutely fucking nowhere? Some ruins. As your salvage crew begins their work, a transmitter hidden somewhere planetside sends out an encrypted broadwave signal. Whatever destination it's meant for, it's gotta be nearby. Doom-class phase cruiser blueprints. You know, it's never too late to decide, fuck this carrier shit. Let's go back to dropping bombs on people. Nah, gonna stick with it. At least for now. There's that one remnant following me. Is there anything else around here? Doesn't seem like it. So it says it's an ordo. Is it the full thing? Not really. Yep. Come over here and fight me if you feel so strongly about it. Leaving slow down so you can catch up. Alright. Let's try with this group. One of the hammerheads just got themselves killed. Somewhere. Didn't even notice that guy. Disappointing performance. Nothing too bad. Losing top speed is kinda really bad for a ship that's already kinda fragile. The spinny guy's back. Fancy rock. It's got life pods on it. With an administrator. Christian Eunomia. This is where we're gonna manage. Let's have the skill. But I'm not interested in having someone who does literally nothing on the payroll. Just another rock. Surely there'll be something interesting in this big old place. Let me just... Okay, danger level medium. I have once made the mistake of going into a danger level high area without realizing it. Did not end well. Some extensive ruins. Presence of a quantity of recreational drugs. Good amount of them. Some blueprints I already know. Stuff over there. Supply cache and a subordo. 2 of them. More blueprints. Damaged remnant nexus. Might as well. Probably don't have to bring the hammerheads, but what's a little bit more on the pile? That's bright. Alright. that are easy peasy. Remnant, squeezy. And a spark. And a skill point. Little bit of everything. Alright, next one I want is... field modulation. Some more ruins to plunder. Food. Alright, let our star system down. There is something right over there. Is it a debris field? Yes. Still have cargo capacity. Could just dump out the metal, really. Plenty of fuel, plenty of people. Let's keep the cruise going. Space ghosts are trying to freak me out again. It's not gonna work. It's a big star system. Very big. Now, you guys kinda look like scavengers, but you aren't, are you? Supposedly they are. A lot of stuff floating around here. Not really anything I want. Other than maybe that Phaeton. Commander Cascade Imbrium. He does have missile specialization. But he doesn't have field modulation or helmsmanship. Get rid of him. Five crew. Increased maintenance. Maybe not. pirate version of the Falcon. You know it's bad when that's the best ship in the floating scrapyard. Right. Some ruins. What kind of goodies are we gonna get? Organics. Go clockwise. I think I do get a topography bonus if I scan from around the center between the two stars. Sure hope it's worth it. Didn't get it. Supposed to be a stash. Apparently. Lots of little ships around. Irradiated world. Never seems to be any good planets in the purple zone. Oh. Not the same guy as last time. Something over there. Multiple somethings. Research. Gorgon DEM SRM blueprint. Hydra MDEM launcher blueprint. Generic missiles and midline. Sarissa Wing blueprint. Nope. Haven't really used those all that much. They seem pretty neat. But other than, I guess, the Anubis, I wouldn't really use them with anything. Maybe an Odyssey? Odyssey's not great either. Some widespread ruins. Mostly just volatiles. Alright, one planet left. An orbital habitat. Close approach by salver teams shows a heat source. And a glint of artificial light. An anomalous pocket of operational life support. The emergency subsection backup of a backup, somehow running for tens, hundreds of cycles. Unlikely. Your officers always perform the standard transponder pings at the start of a salvage operation. It's part of the ritual of legal salvage, although records of legality are fabricated easily enough when required. Doing a good job of it is a sign of respect appreciated by customs officers across the Persian sector. It would be awkward to stumble into some hermit cell, ideologues oubliettes, or pirate holdfast unannounced. So your comms officer takes charge of a new signaling attempt, with a full range of communication protocols. From an overpowered standard hololink to mere radio, laser staccato, and even an esoteric grav pulse relay. Comms, anything to report? No sir, comms replies. Nothing. With your permission, I've got an idea. An acoustic inducer transponder, normally used in mining surveys, is tenderly attached to the HAB structure by a discrete remote probe. It fuds out a code, and detects only a tiny, noisy, rhythmic vibration in return. Something tapping on the hull plate with slow, clock-like regularity. It doesn't change. Well, Ops, it's your turn. Your Ops Chief oversees a careful breach of the habitat, wary both for traps and the need to not disrupt the surviving bubble of life support. Survivors make salvage rites more complex, but they're generally thankful enough for rescue to come to a profitable accommodation. Salvers attach temporary bubble locks around the entry points, inflate them with the ubiquitous portable Atmo units, and perform a cold cut on a sealed emergency door. Or on sealed emergency doors. There's a bunch of barking going on. Ignore that. Anyway, where was I? Right, emergency doors. Slow and safe. Ops nods, satisfied with the work proceeding on the shared display. A spot of green-yellow brightness at the end of a foggy corridor. The image stabilizer kicks in, canceling the jerky hop step of the lead salver's micro-G movement. A tiny garden grows wild within the celestial tomb. Some kind of fissile backup battery has survived, clicking away the decay of heavy elements to heat and light a tiny bubble of life. Moisture condenses in a murky lens of slush on a hubward window, then falls slowly in huge drops through the micro-G of the habitat spin, past the glow plates, towards the mosses and molds and tiny flowers growing on the warm heaps of droppings and husk of vermins. On a life-giving Terran world, this would be nothing more than a dank pit. Here, it is a miracle. Sir, your ops chief acknowledges your command and begins ordering the dance of surveying, inventorying, extraction, and transport. Salvage crews report several chips, or ships, floating near the orbital habitat. Closer inspection reveals they could be restored to basic functionality. Any ships that aren't recovered will be scuttled. Well, if I want a free Atlas, I'd have to very slowly make my way back. Or I could just buy a new one once I'm back there. Salvage. Well, shame that we tore apart that little green bubble, but really don't need the food. Alright. Full up on goods. Time to go dump it all. Ghosts are at it again. Hegemony and the League aren't fighting anymore. That's gonna be bad for business. Could maybe go do a quick hop over to Epiphany. Be ashamed to sell all this good stuff at below market rate. Speaking of, there's a sale. It sells some hegemony blueprints, missile packages, high-tech stuff, and midline stuff to the pirates. Well, I mean the black market. Totally coincidence that it ends up at the pirates. Not gonna sell any fuel. Second thought, got all these volatiles. Maybe I go sell those in Descendria. Pick up some fuel while I'm at it. Legal weapons. I think I'm gonna do it again. Champions. I have 4 of them in total. I could go with another Griffin. Although, haven't had good results with them in the past. Not getting good results with it right now. No, maybe I will sell all the other carriers other than the Astral. Then I can use a couple of Anubis without having to sacrifice any of the bonus from the skills. One for now, order another one next time around. Could also slap some IR auto lances on the champions. It's either that or the Thumper. Actually, now I think about it, the current champion I have, I've got the IR auto pulse. Bumper doesn't get the bonus from the whatever the system is called, high energy focus, but it is a pretty solid weapon choice when you've got the expanded mags built in. So it's between the Thumper or the IR. Both do fragmentation damage. The IR's got more range, but more problems with anything that has a shield, which is most things. Number it is. Need 4, or at least 4 burst lasers per champion. Means I need a total of 16. only other thing was the pylums, but I've got exactly enough already. I think that's everything I need right now. Confirm. Alright. So in the meanwhile, fly around, sell some more stuff. Forget that I don't have a contact here anymore. Alright, Epiphany. Go around the big blue marble. Have anything for sale other than ore? Got domestic goods. Yeah. Stick to the ore. Any good missions? Transplutonic ore procurement. 1,300. Don't have nearly that much. supplier of domestic goods. Need a colony for that. Sensitive matter. Wants me to blow up a warehouse over on Nova Maxios. Nope. And surplus nanoforge production. Has to be my own blueprints, but I did pick up some new ones just recently. Could get myself a Doom class. Not yet. And I can't actually do it anyway because maximum order value. Probably shouldn't order one of those. They're relatively easy to find. Probably. Yep, no missions. Best place to sell is over in Sphinx. Maybe swing by Cantasted again. I also have to go pick up some more supplies. Yeah, they want these over at Nova Maxios anyways. Same with the drugs. I forgot to sell the regular ore. But it's still a profit if I sell it here. So I will. Paying a lot for this stuff. Sure is easy to make money when the pirates don't hate you and everyone else also doesn't hate you. Turns out everyone just wants a middleman to bring in some drugs, along with their metal. Pretty big profit I can make out of these luxury goods. And the other stuff too. Slight decrease in reputation. Worth it. Very not stable right about now. Needs to transport a bunch of transplutonic ores over to Hegemony. You know what? I have to go over there anyway. But, fuck you, pay me. Buy some mercs too. Right, run away before the patrols get angry. The rocks are aggressive today. nameplate transmits identification codes via the transponder, soon granted docking clearance. Contact the relative or relevant parties and drop off the cargo at the agreed upon dockside locations. Big pile of money, 5 rep. Everyone's happy. A lot of textures for me to say no. Got an excess of ores now. Still not terribly profitable. Go over to Nachigata. 10 days until the production's done. So in other words, it should be done by the time I'm back. $13,000 units of fuel. Again, don't have the tanks for that. Sorry. Unless. Nah, I need like 3 of these. Well, more like 2, but still. But if I bought all the tankers I could, don't think it would fit all the fuel. Make this one an official sale. Gonna go get those ships, outfit them. I think I'll give them a test run in the simulator. What would be the best thing to test them on? Actually, I can run multiple tests. Once against capitals, once against a bunch of small stuff. To see how good they are at escorting the Astral. So it would probably also be a good idea to have it be an outnumbered scenario. Outnumbered and outgunned, to be more specific. I'm gonna have to sell something. Not a hard choice. get these set up. Give him integrated targeting units too. Actually, instead of setting them all up one by one, there we go. Now we just need officers in them. Now the test run. Let's see. All of these, total deployment points is 150. So the opponent $200 points worth of conquest. Not the most realistic scenario, but let's see what happens. I'm also gonna set myself to autopilot, just so I can spend all my time watching instead. One down. Hold up against, you know, 3 of them beating on it. But it does do a pretty good job of surviving the beating. pulse lasers shit out a ton of damage. The only thing I'm kinda worried about is an enemy that outreaches them. Since the Conquest is, or not the Conquest, the Champion is not terribly fast. But therein lies the strategy. They don't have to be, you just have to stop the carrier from getting wrecked. So anything that outranges them gets pelted by missiles. And then once the shield's ready to burst, they step in with the auto pulse laser. Shred 'em. Probably helps a lot that it's a bunch of max level officers with high level elite skills. Let's try that again with a slightly different enemy layout. $200 points worth of onslaught. Don't expect them to win this one, but let's see what happens. This one might get pounded by multiple. That one's about to get hammered. Well, however. Yeah. In a 1v1, they can sort of hold up. Sort of. But if the Onslaughts had, hull mods and their own officers, I think this fight would be a one-sided stomp. My carrier's not doing much because I'm just kind of letting it autopilot. Not to mention these things have ridiculous point defense, so probably not having much of an impact anyways. Not terrible. Yeah, this looks like fight of attrition that my side is not winning. Got some damage on that guy though. But everyone else is full health, full armor. Seen enough of this test. Let's give it another one. More enemies and smaller. go with 5 Medusas, 5 Sunders, 3 Furies, and a Heron. And a Venture too, because why not? Theoretically, they should do a lot better for this one, if only because the fighters should be able to absolutely obliterate anything they focus on. Assuming they don't move out of the way. Yeah, this is an attrition fight that my side's gonna slowly win. 'Cause the best chance they had to win was right at the start. They're already down a few ships. Interesting to see how this side of the fight plays out though. 1v5 technically, I think the carrier's right there. Yeah. If they rushed him, they might win. But they're not gonna willingly let one of their own get beat down, even if it secures the fight. Yeah, seen enough of this one. One thing I would like to do on the Astral is eventually switch everything out with drones. That way I don't have to have recovery shuttles. The only thing is, Spark Interceptor drones do not have decoy flare launchers. The drones themselves, though, is still a distraction. They do have a shield, so they're tougher. But a flare soaks up a lot more damage than a shield does. Not to mention it prevents the missiles from getting shot down. I'll keep it as is for now. Replace the Kopesh with flash bombers once I get those. I think the sparks. I could stick those on the Anubis that I plan on buying. It's either those or dude, it was either the Sarissas, I think that's what they're called, or some Zyphos. I think I went with Zyphos last time. Alright. Oh, I just got a fancy new fleet, but my drink's empty. That's gonna be it for today. Hopefully that was a good stream. See ya.